Here's the dogs helping again. I see. They don't understand the difference between we're harvesting and we're planting. That's why I have the garden fenced. But then I let them in because I feel bad because they want to be with me. And then they dig holes. Okay, so here's what we're doing with the garden today. Now there's a rhythm and a cadence to gardening. If you'll notice, there's certain times when the weeds are growing better. And you really want to, right about then, go ahead and disturb the ground and plant. And then they'll wait a while and then they'll come back. So unfortunately, here is my smartweed coming up. And you see how it looks a little bit like a beet? It's not. No, it's evil smartweed. So we planted the beets apparently at the wrong time. So we're going to try with the, this is the beet row. Nothing yet, obviously. We're going to try with the carrots and Swiss chard to plant them on time with the weeds and disturb the cycle. So previous to planting the carrots, you want to rake down the row pretty well so it's fairly even. Make sure you water it down good repeatedly. It rained really good this morning, so we're going to jump on that. And then after you've planted them, go ahead and continue to water a couple times a day because the seed is very shallow. They tell you to surface sow them. As far as I can tell, that's garbage. I've tried that. It doesn't work. Okay, so maybe if it works for you, that's great. But it doesn't work for me. So what we're doing here is we're doing Fort Hook Giant Swiss Chard, heirloom variety. This first little bit of this, and we've marked it so we know when it changes, so that we know how to weed. So we've just kind of scratched in the dirt these little rows. They tell you to put it like 12 inches apart. We don't do that. We put it closer, and it's got some support then. So we're gonna this is about all we'll use for ourselves, and then we'll share with people as we go along. And then, so that's going to be, that's a 60-day to harvest. The seed is only about 1/2 inch depth, and it yields, as you saw from our previous videos, it yields all year. So just so everybody knows and we're on the same page, we're using some expired seed. We believe in continuing to use it as long as it'll go. This one is not as expired as it could be. This one is a little bit more expired. This is our experiment for the year. We tried this one other time, but it was a bad garden year, and it didn't do well, not surprisingly. This is Black Nebula carrots. It's the darkest carrots on the market. It's used for dye. I mean, you can eat them, but I'm going to use them for dye, I hope, if they go. So that's our only experiment that I know of this year. So we're going to plant, I don't know, almost 10 feet of that. And it won't hurt the yield of our other carrots, in case it doesn't work out. Now, in my experience, these dark carrots, when you can them, actually turn orange. But they weren't Black Nebula. They were a different kind. They were purple carrots and whatever. So these are different kinds. So then the second set of things we're growing, this is all one block. And we're planting north and south. And then we're planting rows east and west. And east and west is, and north and south is, we've got good sun coming through here. And also the wind drives in from either the south or the west. So you kind of covered both ways by planting a block. I plant in 3-foot blocks by whatever amount that I choose. This year it looks like about 60 feet. Some years Dad backs it off a little further. So the reason I plant in blocks is to plant support. Also, planting only in a 3-foot block, I can kneel down here in the aisle, and I can reach halfway across the aisle to weed on my knees. And then on the other side, I'll weed up the other side and reach halfway across the block to weed. And so I never do it larger than the 3 feet in order to be able to reach across that block from each side. Because you want to be able to weed adequately. So that's what we're doing with the garden. Other than that, we're continuing to bury potatoes the dogs dig. And the ducks have been in here multiple times, of course, whether they're snapping off sprouts or eating slugs, hopefully. I don't know, but I have to continue to go back through and check everything and rebury. There's another potato that's found its way out. Whether somebody helped it find it, there's another one. Whether somebody helped it find its way out or not, I don't know. But checking and making sure they've not popped out for whatever reason is always a good idea. And we're hoping this year, here's one of the potatoes trying to live. I try to cover the actual sprout because it can burn, and that isn't good. So then meantime, our poor pitiful little effort at strawberries is over here, and they're trying to live, but the potato bugs found them and chewed on them a little. So we'll see what happens with that. We've tried several different methods here. We've tried planting in the ground. We've tried container planting. We've tried planting in this box where the bugs like to live. This is the origin of the potato bugs, we believe. They've already wiped out some of the stuff we planted in there. They're very quick. But this is what's going on with the garden so far.